And we are now live.
Awesome.
Yes. All right, I'll make a start. G'day, guys. If you're watching this live recording of the Geocaching Down Under podcast, I just lost my place. welcome. And also to those watching us in the replay as well. Shortly, we'll be starting the actual live broadcast. But before and after that, I can't read your writing, Linda. We love to chat with you guys here online. So now it's over to you, NT.
Yes, well, we do try to read all of your comments while we're going through the podcast recording itself. We do miss a few, and I apologize for that. But remember, stay on afterwards, and we'll love to chat with you guys after we finish the official podcast. So, yes, feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well during the actual recording. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Exactly. So with that all said now, and all our thank you for the replay viewers, let's see who we've got live tonight. So we've got Oz Fox. I'll go from the top to the bottom. Oz Fox is here. Julie Arnold is here. Andy Baker's here as well. Gaz Kirsch, Greg from Hubby and Mrs. and Jen from Hubby and Mrs. is here. They're both on two different accounts. Alan McRae is here as well. Gaz Kirsch. Kitty Catch is here. Berry Unicorns, Purple Cash Eater. Let me see. Melinda Barnett. Kai Zabra is actually in Sydney at the moment. He sent me a message before. Ash Bush is here. Andrew Bush is here. Ash Bush, mate. Matthew Moole, Lisa Spencer. Look at you all joining up. Little Miss Left and Little Miss Longlegs are here there as well with Gash Kirsch. So that's who we have so far in the chat room. Welcome, guys.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Now, just for you guys, we do have Tash here from XMarkstheSpot. Say g'day, Tash.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
There she is. And also we have Brendan here from MrCuddlyBrick, isn't it?
MrCuddlyBrick's Geocaching Adventures. G'day, how you going?
That's one. And, oh, that accent. I love that accent. How good is that accent? Oh, that's right. You're from the most eastern state of Australia.
G'day.
All right, guys. So keep up in the chat room. We'll try and get to you guys in the chat room as much as we can throughout the actual night itself and go from there. And if we do, we do. If we don't, we'll come back to it at the end. So make sure you stay after we say our goodbyes. Make sure you stay back before we say goodbye to you guys as well. So, yes, very good. Andrew Bush just said, what accent? Exactly right, Andrew. So
Yeah. So
bring it on.
Yeah, Brendan's actually from New Zealand, so he should have a little bit of an accent.
Oh, Andrew from New Zealand as well. That's the thing. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He's my geocaching buddy.
He is really a super nice guy. I've known Andrew. I've only met him once actually from the New Zealand Mega all the way back about 3 years ago it was. But yeah. All right, guys, are we ready? Enough of the chit chat and the chin wag.
We want to check with our online viewers if our volumes are okay, if they're having trouble listening to anyone. There
you go, guys. If you have any issues with any microphones that you hear, is everyone correct? You can hear everyone talking?
We haven't had Tash talk very much. So Tash, tell us about your latest video you've put up on YouTube.
Oh, what, me trying to find random containers? So I went to like some garbage recycle centers and found some random containers in places.
Oh, there you go.
And I found a really big one. That video is actually uploading tomorrow. So
cool. All right, your microphone is good now. Brendan, you have a bit of a chat too?
Yeah, g'day. So today I didn't actually find a geocache, but I managed to put one down. I did a chirp. Have you guys got chirps and stuff like that?
One.
Yeah, so I had a play around with that. So that was pretty cool. So I managed to wing one of those out, and it's going to get published at some stage, I hope.
Oh, cool.
All going well.
Awesome. All right. Well, levels are all good, which is good. So we're going to
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And give us 1 sec, and we're going to make a start on this, the Geocaching Down Under podcast, episode number 11. Stand by. And g'day, guys. C. Marshall here, and welcome to episode number 11 of the Geocaching Down Under podcast, recorded live on this, the 3rd of July in 2019, with not one but two special guests tonight. It's going to be a big one. First up, we have a big g'day, though, as always, to our very own No Tomorrow. G'day, No Tomorrow.
G'day, C. Michelle.
How have you been this week, or this month, actually? Good?
Yeah, been doing pretty well actually. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad actually. Not too bad. Getting ready for the mega coming up this weekend.
Oh, yes.
That'll be cool. All right. Also joining us tonight, all the way from the Sunshine State of Queensland, it is none other than Tash, also known as XMarkstheSpot. G'day, Tash. How you going?
Good. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be here.
And what's the weather like up in the Sunshine Coast? Is it true to life? Is it sunshine?
Yeah, it's pretty sunny, but we get our bad days, and of course, they're the days you want to go geocaching. So,
fair enough. And then we also have now this is from across the ditch, also known as the most eastern state of Australia, also commonly known as New Zealand. Brendan, Mr. Cuddlybrick himself. G'day, Brendan. How you going, mate?
Yeah, g'day. Kia ora. All good. Thanks very much for the invite. Great to be here.
That's right, mate. No dramas. Now, before we get on to tonight's podcast, tonight's show, No Tomorrow, what's new with the podcast?
Yes.
We have something new.
That is a very good question. What are we talking? The path tags that we got the other day, or Patreon?
Well, why don't we talk about both just quickly?
Go for it.
All right. So, guys, we got these new path tags only seriously 2 days ago. So they look pretty schmick. They were, what do you call it, developed or designed, I should say, by our very own No Tomorrow. So she's designed these path tags. They look fantastic. Unfortunately, they do have my head on it too, but it is, but it's what do you call it, cartoonized sort of thing. So that's okay. So with the new path tags, we now have Patreon. Do we all know what Patreon is? You saw it No Tomorrow. What's Patreon about?
Patreon. That is a really good question. See, I don't know too much about it, but I know that you do.
All right, guys. All Patreon is basically a way for you to support us financially. Now, it takes a lot of money to make these things happen. It doesn't happen overnight. So with Patreon, we have 3 different levels. You can go to patreon.com, not .au, just patreon.com/geocaching down under, and you can have 3 different ways of supporting this particular podcast. I think it's like $1 a month, and $3 a month, and $5 a month. So, but you get different things for each of those tiers. Now, of which we're going to have a special for this month only, NT.
Yes, we are. Okay, so if you sign up in the month of July, that's until the last day of July, to Patreon.
2019.
July 2019, for the month of July, we are giving away 3 path tags. 3, not just 1. And we're not talking, not 3 of the same one.
No. So
3 different ones.
So geocaching down under path tag. I'll chuck in one of mine. Do you have one as well?
I do.
So there you go. You got 3. That's the 3.
That's right.
So you get a No Tomorrow path tag, See My Shell path tag, and a geocaching down under path tag if you join up in the month of July 2019. All right, we're going to move straight on. You know what? Forget out the music because we haven't got time for that at the moment. Geocaching news. So before we start chatting about the videos with these 2 great guys, what was I going to say? This month, that's right, GC News. What's happened in the news in this month? Do you know at all? No Tomorrow? It's the HQ. They sent an email out.
That's right. They had they've got 2 new types of geocaches, but technically they're 2 old ones with new names.
That's right. They changed the name, didn't they? So the HQ 2020 event is now the it used to be Groundspeak Lost and Found.
Correct.
But they're changing it now type to Geocaching HQ Celebration.
Correct.
So that's pretty cool.
And like, they don't do that every year though, do they?
No, I think it's once every 10 years.
That's right. Once every 10 years, they'll roll one of those.
Yep.
So once every 10 years, you'll have an opportunity to get that icon in amongst all of your other ones.
But I think it's just at HQ in Seattle. That's it. So it's just
correct.
That's all it is.
That's right.
If you can't make it to HQ, that they've got the other event as well, which has been announced, which used to be just a Lost and Found event, but that Lost and Found event is now being renamed to a community celebration event. So that means it's worldwide. So I think we can be able to host these things as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they weren't both Lost and Found. One of them was Lost and Found, and the other one was something else. But there's 2 different ones. And the Block Party.
Block Party, maybe?
The Block Party is the one that's turned into the HQ 2020.
Yep.
The Geocaching HQ celebration.
Either way, I think it's on the let's say,
I can't remember which way around it is now because our notes say that they're both Lost and Found, but I know that's not the case.
I know. That's just nut behind the wheel being me. All right, we also have, now we're talking about Australian events. Big Australian events coming up. We have, of course, this weekend, the Oz Geomaster Mega event down in Wollongong, GC7N7ZC. This weekend, we'll be on site, won't we, NT?
We will indeed, yes.
Yeah. Tash, are you coming to that at all this weekend?
Oh, I wish I could. Working.
Oh, no.
And Brendan, all the way over from across the ditch.
Oh, look, I was going to be, but some things fell away, and unfortunately, not the day.
Sorry
that's
about
no good
that.
either, mate. That's no good. Well, I'll have to come over there sometime soon to say good day, and we'll do a cache together, very, very soon. So that's so we're going to be, tomorrow we're actually going to do a live podcast broadcast, aren't we?
We are indeed, yes, yeah. Live on YouTube again, kind of thing.
Yes, live on YouTube and live from the actual mega event.
From the mega event.
I think it's all in the afternoon, maybe 5 or 6 p.m. on Sunday night. Or we haven't had it exactly yet. So if you're not at the mega event, then you can join us live on YouTube. If you are at the mega event, you can actually come physically and say good day and jump on a microphone.
Yes, that's right. Come jump on a microphone and say good day.
Oh, no, tomorrow. I haven't told you yet.
What?
If they do come and jump on the microphone, then I give them a prize because I got prize packs. So I've been cleaning out my garage. All right. After that, we have the St. Arnold's event in November down in Victoria, GC7 DN55. Then we have the GeoVenture 2020 in Millicent in South Australia, GC82 DAN, and that's in April. So make sure you place your will attends, register, and plan your geocaching trips now. So, other news, NT.
Other news. Yeah. Okay. So I noticed that there are more adventure labs that have been released just recently.
Oh, there was
adventure
too.
labs. Yeah. There was one nearby down in Port Macquarie area.
Yeah, that's right.
South Wales. That's nearest to me that I noticed.
Yeah, Tattooed Squared was the one that got that one, which is pretty cool.
Yes, very nice.
Brendan, any over in your side of the world, mate?
So the only one that we've got that's significant that's coming up is in Auckland next year.
Yep.
That's going to be a mega. So that's one that's coming up. I don't know the GC code or the exact dates, but it's easy enough to search it out and get your will attends and plan your geocaching trip for that one too.
Is that the New Zealand mega that's coming out? That's
right.
Yeah. And Andrew Bush from the chat room, he said the same thing, that don't forget the New Zealand mega. And also Kai Zabra has reminded us that WA Goes Big is also booked as well for Albany in 2020. Albany. I don't know.
Albany.
I can't read properly, you know me.
No. It's how you read it right. It's just pronounced that way. Albany.
Okay.
Albany.
I'm not very smart, but I can lift heavy things.
No, it's okay. I was actually over in Western Australia when I learnt that myself. I called it Albany as well.
Well, there you go. Now, Tash, any new adventure labs that you know of up in the Sunshine State?
No, I haven't seen any of late, but I'm keen to get to one.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. They are pretty cool. I mean, tomorrow we did 2, didn't we, in Canberra?
2, yes. I think thought it might have been 3, but 3 adventure labs.
You did 3 because you were there longer than what I was, and I did 2. And then we did the actual adventure labs on site as well. So we did.
Yes, that's correct. What used to be the lab caches.
That's right. Yeah, now the Lab Adventures, so which is cool. Also, the Worldwide Flash Mob has just happened, didn't they? Did you go to one?
I did indeed. I did actually. I got to go to a pillow fight up in Queensland, just south of Brisbane. That was a bit of fun. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but thankfully it wasn't in the middle of a shopping centre or something horrible like that.
Were the police
in a park?
Were the police called?
No.
all these old people there with their pillows out. You must think that
hey, old. Whoa. Go back.
It was like the nursing home has broken its padlocks.
Homeless people around the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Need a pillow.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Brendan?
I know there was.
Brendan, did you get to a flash mob, mate?
No, I didn't. I was working.
No. And what about you, Tash?
I'm the same. I wanted to go to the pillow fight one, but working again.
See,
it's in the way
I was
of
this close to
geocaching.
going.
See, this is the thing, guys. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk to these guys a bit more very, very soon, but they actually are geo-vloggers, and we'll talk about what that is encompasses soon. But geo-vloggers, like, we still got to work. We still got to pay for our equipment, like our cameras and all the software, and then the
petrol.
So, and the petrol, exactly. So, yes. Now, people have asked me as well, tomorrow, what are these worldwide flash mobs? I'll just go a quick rundown. So, Sunny and Sandy from the Podcacher podcast came up with the worldwide flash mob idea in 2007. So, it's been running now for, 12 years, after attending a mega event. it was meant to be a fun and opposite of a mega event. So all the cool aspects of a geocaching event crammed into just 15 minutes of pure excitement.
15 minutes of pure excitement. Well, I can say that the pillow fight was that. I'm not sure if the blowing bubbles off the bridge was pure excitement for the other one nearby.
No,
I didn't get to.
I suppose it could be. So that's the worldwide flash mobs. And what about Mystery at the Museum? Geez, we've got so much news this month.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Mystery at the Museum. What do you know about that?
I know that it starts on the 11th of July. And there are a bunch of souvenirs.
That's right. Now, be careful, though, because it's the 11th of July, the Seattle time in midday, which equals on the 12th here in New Zealand and Australia. I think that's
probably why I thought 12.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 a.m. in Australia, which equals then 7, or on the eastern seaboard of Australia, which is then equals 7 a.m. on the 12th. Yeah. See, a lot of people make that mistake because they get excited because they see the date of the 11th in New Zealand and Australia. We go out and find these caches and go, oh, it's not working for me.
So, learned the hard way from that.
So yeah, exactly. So it's noon on July 11th UTC time. So now about these, I've read it up a little bit. No tomorrow.
Yes.
Basically, some questions were: how do I find and collect the clues? Well, apparently you got to use filters and see geocaches that actually contain clues. Now, these clues aren't physically in the caches; they are virtual clues. So that's why HQ can put them on and put them off, because it's just virtually. So you find and log the geocaches, and then you can collect the clues. Collect all the clues to learn how to access the vault. Keep track of your progress on Mystery at the Museum page. Now,
I was just going to say the filtering and keeping track of your progress, you can do that through the GC official app as well.
Correct. You can only do it through the app. So you can only do it through the official GC app or online. You can't do it through other external apps, unfortunately, like Cachely, etc. So there you go. So this is one way GC, I think HQ sort of turned around and said, no, come back to the original app and just see how good it is. Or you Cachely users. Yeah, I'll do it for this, and that's about it. So that's how you do it. And now you can filter for geocaches that have the clues. Let me see. And then how do you actually collect the clues? Well, they'll come obviously when you find the caches themselves. And then what are the there's 4 souvenirs you can earn. So the 4 souvenirs are: number 1, briefed on the case; number 2, evidence collected; number 3, jewels recovered; and number 4, case closed. So the first souvenir, it requires finding 1 clue in 1 geocache or at an event. You see?
But 1 clue in 1 cache isn't just any cache either. It's got to be one of the ones that has that specific clue.
That's the one, yeah. That specific
one.
Clue. That's right. And now if you find them out of order, so in other words, if you find clue 2 or 3 or 4 before you find clue 1, they won't count, you see. So you've got to actually find them in order. So don't forget to do that, guys. So the second souvenir, evidence collected, requires finding 6 clues in 6 geocaches. The third requires 15 clues in 15 geocaches. And the fourth requires a bonus challenge to unlock the vault. So I'm not sure what too much about that is. So, but there we go. So don't forget the time. It is the July the 12th for us here in Australia and New Zealand, not the 11th. So yes.
Yep.
So there we go. All right. Enough of all that news. There was so much news. It's ridiculous. We've got to talk to these guys. We'll be back very, very soon. And we're going to have a quick chat with Tash, XMarkstheSpot, and Brendan, also known as Mr. Cuddlybricks in good old New Zealand. All right, and welcome, as we said, once again to Brendan and Tash, also known as Mr. Cuddlybricks and XMarkstheSpot. So now we're actually into the actual podcast and what we're all about. So who wants to go first and tell us what vlogging is all about?
Let's ask Tash.
All right, first up.
What would you class? Because Tash, I think you were a vlogger before you got into geocaching. Is that right?
Oh, sort of. I dabbled in like filming live concerts and everything, and like I've done a photography course, so I know my way around a camera. So kind of like grew from there.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been geocaching for now?
I signed up in 2016, so I'm only new to the geocaching world. I'm a baby to it.
Well,
and I kind of only started doing it like a year later after that. And I'm at like, I think I'm at 179 finds, so I'm still new to it all.
No, but that's cool. That's cool. And while I'll stick with you, Tash, actually, I did see that you put out is it your first geocache was it last week, the week before?
My first big one.
Yeah.
So it's quite a big container. I've had a couple out before. I've got a micro in the middle of Brisbane City. But yeah, I just placed out a huge one. I'll be uploading that video tomorrow. So
cool. Very good. Now switch to you, Brendan. Brendan, mate, how long have you been geocaching for, and how did you get into actual vlogging, like videos and stuff?
Yeah, so I started geocaching in 2013. I found 2,247 finds. Just as of probably last weekend, which was really cool. And why did I start getting into vlogging? I saw a lot of vloggers coming on. I thought, that's really cool, but there was no one really doing it a lot here in New Zealand. Now there's a few. There's the Kiwi caches and stuff like this. So there's a few doing them now. But I just really wanted to showcase some of the scenery, the sites, and some of the caches that can be done here in New Zealand. So that's really why I wanted to start to get into it, really.
Yeah, perfect. And also, and highlight the area for those, because I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm the same. I started my videos and stuff only because my kids wanted to, because they were watching all the videos from the States, from America. You know, like Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and all those ones, and they're like, Dad, we can do this. And at the same time, there wasn't much in Australia or New Zealand, and it's good to highlight that. It's really good to highlight that.
No, I think it's a really cool way to showcase the hobby or obsession, or whichever way you want to call it, as well as where we are, and some of the issues that we have, like environmentally, as well as cool caches and probably not so cool caches, and the odd did not find and stuff like that. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, exactly. And so Tash, how did you actually get into then with obviously doing some sort of photography work beforehand, but what made you then decide to actually get into sort of geocaching vlogging?
I think it was the same thing, really. Like I was watching Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and everything like that, and I thought, this looks really fun. Like I could do exactly the same thing, showcase all the old caches that we have in Queensland, and all the sorts of the surroundings and the nature that we could show.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, our very own No Tomorrow, she's got her own little site as well.
Yeah, I do indeed, actually. Yeah, I started vlogging a bit over 5 years ago, but actually I hadn't noticed or other vlogs, geocaching vlogs, already online at that stage. I chose to just start filming because I needed to get outside. I needed something for my mental health, and I loved the idea of doing film work, and I wanted to do something film related. So I thought I'll put the two together, getting outside, doing some geocaching and filming, and I'd make these videos. I started doing that, and once I started, I think it was only after the first one, I thought, I wonder who else does this stuff. So I looked it up, and because geocaching vlogger was the first one that showed up, and went through heaps of his stuff. I was like, wow. And there's so many now on there, though. It's amazing.
Oh no, it's grown quite a bit. It's grown quite a bit and quite quickly.
I got a few viewers from different countries as well. So
yeah, I was about to mention that. Like, Brendan, what sort of obviously you might have looked at your what's it called, analytics or something on
analytics on YouTube.
On YouTube, What sort of countries does target you basically?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I've got a couple in Europe. I've got a guy who I've become really quite good mates with in Italy. His name's Mirko. So hi, if he's around. Of course, quite a few in America, and a few in Australia that follow, which is really great, and a following here in New Zealand, which is really cool as well. Quite local as well. A lot of our friends and geocaching whānau here in Canterbury, and Andrew's actually featured on a couple of mine, so which has been really cool. when we go out geocaching together as well. So that's really, really special.
Yeah, exactly. And what about you, Tash? What sort of demographic? Because obviously, see, there's maybe a slight age difference between you, Tash, and someone like myself. So, what sort of demographic do you sort of do watch you basically?
Yeah, it's sort of similar. I mean, I get heaps from Australia and then a couple from New Zealand, but I do get heaps from America and Canada as well. And surprisingly, I found some from India watch as well.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really interesting to me because I thought, oh, how are they reaching it all the way over there?
Although in
I thought
saying
the geocaching was over there.
yeah, but in saying that though, I do tend to find it's a look thing. It's a talk thing. It's who people sort of relate to the best. I do believe so. Yeah, maybe that's what exactly. And what else?
How about yourself there? What about you, Craig? You got
Me,
some from different countries?
Yeah, just mostly the states, a few in Australia, New Zealand, but yeah, predominantly, and yeah, the States and Canada. That's the one. I think they watch a lot of my stuff for the accent more than anything else, and because I kind of act like them as well, like I'm a bit more over the top, so to speak, like they are, so they can relate to that rather than just being like someone who's normal. I'm a bit more over the top, so it's what happens. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've got probably about half of my viewers are from overseas and the other half are from Australia, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of them over in America that I have comment regularly and things like that. I like to watch my videos on a regular basis. So like Moto Joe and
Moto Joe.
Scott in Ohio. So
yeah, Ohio videos is the other one. Exactly.
Yeah.
Big shout out to those.
I love getting comments from these guys. I always like to respond to all the comments that I get on my videos as well.
Exactly. Now, just for you, the guys watching live and also listening to this in the replay as well, it is X Marks the Spot. If you search for X Marks the Spot on YouTube, that's Tash and MrCuddlyBrick. Mr. Cuddlybrick. Is it Geocaching Adventures?
Yeah, MrCuddlyBrick Geocaching Adventure. Yeah.
There's no S. So MrCuddlybrick singular. Geocaching Adventures. On YouTube. So jump on there, guys, and sub to them as well. And we'll go back over that again very, very soon. Meanwhile, what about you get the people who like your videos, but then you get the people who don't.
Correct. Yes.
Do you have the many of those who don't like the stuff, Tash, at all? Like who make complaints, whether it's through GC or through the page or?
Yeah, if I'm like spoiling any geocaches or anything, I haven't had anyone complain yet. And I don't really like ask for permission because the chances of someone watching my videos and then being the CO is like slim to none. Especially, I don't like give out any locations of my caches that I find or anything like that. So I'm very secretive about it all. So I haven't had any complaints so far. I did get permission when I was like filming the GIF Awards. That was the only time I got permission, and they were fine with it.
Yes, and that's a good point. So permission, NT, what's your stance on permission? I know what it is, but not.
Yeah. Well, I think in the early days when I first started, I didn't get permission from cache owners, and there was a couple of videos where I got the couple of didn't likes, and comments, because I had spoiled caches. So I started putting up a spoiler notice, and then in the end, I decided, no, I'm actually going to ask every one of them. So what I do is I now ask everybody, every cache owner whose cache I've got in my videos. If I don't hear from them within a couple of weeks, I just go ahead and do the video anyway, because quite often, people are kind of disappeared off the scene out of geocaching. So, and I haven't had any problems with those either. So,
yeah. And what about yourself, Brendan?
Yeah, so I get in touch with the COs as much as I can. Again, like NT, give it a few weeks, and if I haven't heard from them, then it goes up. But I have, Lisa Spencer's just subscribed to me. Hi, thanks. I think there's, you've got to at least try. And reach out and actually say, I've done this, is that okay? And if they say no, then it doesn't get uploaded. But if they say no worries, it has. And if I don't hear from them, then up it goes.
Yep. And just for everyone's information as well, especially those listening to this, That's Brendan's got 2 dogs, and so I think one of them is snoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
Your story.
He's not a hungry man. He's just he's
Hey,
It's okay. It's okay.
we're on the telly.
Well, what I've done in regards to spoilers though is I don't show any location where I'm at. I don't share my location because predominantly I do live broadcasts like through Periscope and stuff rather than the YouTube. Only because the editing is just such a pain. So I don't actually show where I am. There's no GC codes, nothing at all. And predominantly I only show either A, good locations, or B, good quality of actual containers or caches. Now, at the same time, as I said before, my demographic, if you like, is predominantly the US with my periscopes. So they're wanting to see what Australia is like, and I get a lot of muggles come on as well. A lot of muggles come onto my live scopes and they're like, oh, what's this geocaching? And so, yeah, you have to explain it each time. But as I said, I don't, it's live, mine's live. So there's no chance I can, ask permission. Even so, most people that I know of, like good old Matty RX.
Matty RX given permission.
Matty RX. He gave me a blanket. He gave me a blanket permission. He's like, yep, whenever you like, mate, you can do whatever you want with mine. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah. So that's with permission. So just to let you know, guys, if you're actually a cache a hider out there, if you're a cache hider out there and you don't want this like spoilers, or if you don't want your cache videoed, you know what, just chuck a little thing at the bottom of the description, because predominantly vloggers all read the description, and basically say, please no spoilers of this cache on any social media. If you say that, then we then obviously are going to abide by what the cache owner likes. So that's what I do anyway.
Yeah, but you can't expect everybody to do that because they don't realize that people are going to be taking photos and putting it on social media.
You think they would realize in this day and age with all the social media around that they've got to say something?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually wanted to make a point. I find for me, doing the whole vlogging and showing these geocaches isn't a spoiler type thing at all for me. This is actually me sharing these moments and these caches with other people. So like, someone goes on holidays and they take photos and videos and they bring it back and they want to share it with their friends, or they share it on social media. It's the same thing. It's us wanting to share with other people something that we're enjoying as well.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we've had
meaning for it to annoy people at all.
No.
Yeah, we've had some earthquakes and stuff happen here just recently, and I was in a place called Littleton, and I've just one of my latest movies is on a time ball, and it actually, we were there at the right time to get the time ball dropping at 1 o'clock, but it's been all restored and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool to showcase that sort of evolution with building up something that's been demolished, that's historical, and yet here it is again, but also showcasing that area. And I think that was really important, like what you were saying, that we need to showcase things a little bit different than going for a walk, finding a cache.
Exactly.
It's not something that's in a hedgerow or under a pile of rocks, but is more, look at this view, or here's a historical place, or something that's really interesting and tangible.
Or it could be just the cache is interesting. It's not a stock standard.
That's right, yeah.
It's the stemmer container or whatever else as well. And that's the other thing as well. Like, I don't normally show too much in terms of what do you call bison tubes or mint tins or stuff like that, unless there is a magnificent view or something like major that's actually the quality, and then I go, oh, by the way, there's a cache here. Boom, that's it. You know what I mean? That sort of style. So, NT?
Yeah, no, I was actually just going to say, I forgot to mention before that when I do seek permission from cache owners, I have had a few of them say, no, please don't show my cache. Now, I've been in communication with them and asked, okay, is it just the cache you don't want seen or the location? And some of them have been okay with me showing the cache, but not the location. So what I've done is I've edited the video differently so you can't see where it is at all. So, I've been able to disguise that, and they were quite happy with that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. And that's probably another thing as well. And look, it's common sense. Like, if there's a D5 traditional, a difficulty 5 traditional, I am not going to show everyone exactly where the hide is and what it's like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
total spoiler.
Really not silly like that. That's just, if it takes me that long to find a D5 traditional, there's no way in hell I'm going to show people and just give it away for the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I was actually surprised one time. I did a video of, I think it was Australia's, was it 10,000th or something cache?
Oh, that's
right. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I thought they were going to totally be like, no, you can't show anything whatsoever, or just the cache only, not the location. They were like, show it all. And then they posted it on their actual cache page, on the actual cache online. The video link is there and everything. It's like, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So they were quite happy for me to show that one.
But
so
let's be honest.
Ask, though.
But let's be honest, like in most cases, it's a pile of rocks, or it's a, you know what I mean? Like it's a stock standard sort of hide, you know, in the what do you call it, a fork of a tree or something like that. Like the hides themselves is more about the locations in my mind. So yeah, let's go on to actually vlogging now itself. How you vlog, etc. Brendan, music. What do you do in regards? Do you have background music and stuff like that, or what's the go there with music?
Yeah, so depending on the location where it is and the ambient noise will depend on if I throw something in there. And yeah, so I've got a bit of music that I've ripped out of YouTube that they have on their standard, like the what do you call it, video studio.
Oh yeah, like royalty free, isn't it? That's
there's free ones, but there's ones in there that you can upload as well, or download, sorry, to put onto yours, but as long as you put their links and so forth onto it. So I've done that quite a few. I've got a few that I will use depending on, like, if I was in the country, then I might put something like some bluegrass or some country or some types of music. If I'm in an urban setting and there's a little bit of rushing around the place, then I might put on some sort of urban funk or hip hop or something like that. So depends on where I am as to what I'll upload, and then I pull the volume down, keep that volume right the way down so you can just hear it, but you know, it's not overbearing and it's not, you know, can't hear it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Tash, what about yourself? You do a couple, but you do mostly actual vlog, as in talk to the camera, piece of camera, rather than, you know, the whole scenery and music and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I kind of do it all. I like showcase myself as well as the cache, the location, everything. I like showing like exactly what's happening, like a real life sort of vlog. So like a daily vlog. Would love to do daily vlogs one time, but there's so much that goes into it. But with the music, I actually do the free music on YouTube as well. I first started out by putting like just random songs, but then I got a couple of copyright notices, so I had to change that. But exactly the same thing. I pick and choose. Like I'll spend a couple of hours going through the music that I want to choose, and I'll save a couple, and then I'll sort through them in when I'm editing my videos and adding them into each video to see which one fits. So it's kind of pick and choose for me. I'll spend a while doing that.
Right. And we've all heard, and I've had always positive feedback, no tomorrow's music. How do you do yours? Because people love your music. Like they watch yours just to listen to the music sometimes.
Well, I actually like to get brand spanking new Australian music that hasn't really been played much or anything yet. So what I do is I actually we've got a radio station website and everything here in Australia, Triple J, and they have an unearthed website where they have artists who haven't been signed contract to do anything yet can upload their music, and you can find it there and you can listen to it. And sometimes I'll go in and I'll find an artist who is from the area I've just been geocaching in, and I'll find their music and ask them permission. Can I play your music in the background of my vlog? They all say yes. And I don't have to worry about any licenses. They're okay. It's free. You name it. I'm advertising for them anyway. I like to pick music that I like and I think goes with kind of the vibe of the geocache and the area I go to. I edit my videos to go with the music.
That's right. And just for people out there who want to actually start doing their own vlogging and stuff, you know, what sort of advice do you reckon we can give people who started off? I mean, like Brendan, for instance, you know, how did you start off? Did you start off? What sort of camera did you use? Did you use like me? I'm just using a phone. That's all I use, you know?
Yep. So a trusty Samsung 7.
Yep.
Well, then it was a Samsung 5. I used that and a selfie stick. And unfortunately, my first one is in portrait mode, a big no-no. Don't film in portrait mode.
Mate. Always landscape.
I don't know why I did. I thought it was, look at me. Wrong. So landscape mode. But yeah, phone, and now I've extended off. I've got an Osmo, which is really cool.
The Osmo Pocket?
Yeah.
Pocket.
No, the full blown.
No, it's a big one.
I haven't got it with me.
Kind of really bad. I've seen Brenda's big one. Anyway, yeah, the video, the camera, yes.
Oh yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Family friendly.
What about you, Tash? Like, what sort of camera in terms of people who want to do this and want to start this? What sort of advice can you give them?
It's pretty easy, really. Just pull out your phone. That's exactly what I did, and that's what I first started doing. I had an iPhone 6, and that's all I did. I mean, these phones nowadays that you can buy, they come out with 4K video recording. So it's so easy just to whip out your phone, record what's in front of you. Have a few moments where you just talk to yourself in the camera. Don't have to do it in public. Just do it inside, see how you feel. And then see what you think when you go outside. I eventually upgraded to just a small GoPro, and then I've got a Canon G7X now, and it's perfect. Like, you get weird looks from people, but eventually when you just keep doing it, you kind of just get that like anxiousness gone, and you just forget what people think of you.
That's right. And really, at the end of the day, who cares what other people think? Like, you're just doing what you do, and you're doing it for yourself more than anything else.
I've actually picked up a couple of subscribers by actually vlogging.
Yeah.
So, I was in Arizona, and we're on the the Hoover Dam, and I was walking because you can get a geocache on one side of the dam, and then that's in Arizona. You walk across the other side, and you get another one, which is in Nevada.
Yeah.
So you can get two states in less than an hour as well. But I was walking, I had my Osmo and my tripod and all this kind of stuff, and I'm walking down the thing. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just geocaching. I'm doing vlog for blah, 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 blah. Oh, really? What is it? Next minute, bing, bing, bing. And it's like,
exactly. The followers. Now editing. No tomorrow. We all know what your type of editing is. It's spot on, sensational. What do you use as in terms of just for beginners? If people want to get started, how can they edit their videos to get it so it's not just a boring basic thing?
Yeah, okay. So I've probably got the software that I use is probably not really your basic beginner type stuff. What my computer came with. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I've just gone from CS6 to CC at the moment. Just getting familiar with that one now.
I looked at that. That's like $500 for the application, isn't it? Is that the one?
Well, when I got mine as a computer with all of the complete suite on it for $500.
Oh, lucky.
Nice.
So yeah, I was really lucky to get that at first, but I'm just upgrading to CC now, and that is costing me money. Paying it's about $80 a month for the whole suite. So I get to use other things, and hopefully I'll get to know After Effects a bit more.
You use a Mac, don't you?
Okay, so I use a Mac computer. Yep. So I know that for people who have got Mac computers, you can use iMovie.
Yeah, I use iMovie.
It comes with the computer, doesn't it? Is that right?
It's a free app it's part of the Apple free app. Yep. I've always used iMovie. You can even use iMovie on your phone. So when I was
going to say on the phone, yes.
Yeah, when I actually traveled around Australia, I was doing the daily videos, and at night, because I had no reception at all, I'd sit down and then go through and actually do all the editing and everything on my phone.
Yep. And you don't need to have music and stuff in it, so you could just do the editing on.
I already had the music downloaded in preparation so I just pulled the music from my audio files and just chucked it on. It was fantastic. I didn't have a computer, laptop, nothing. I just did all on my phone. So that's what I use. Brendan, what do you use, mate? What sort of computer do you have?
Yeah, so I've got a HP laptop, which a friend of ours has grunted up the graphics card a wee bit to be able to handle some of the videoing. And I use Filmora at the moment. But Filmora also has a free version, so anyone can actually use it. And it's pretty much drag and drop. And it's got a whole lot of transitions, and there's a suite of things that you can actually use to be able to enhance your videos, including you can change the color and all that kind of jazz. You can green screen it if you want to and all that kind of stuff. That's with the paid version, but which is what I'm running at the moment, which is great for what I want to use it for. I can't see going like to go into the Adobe suite would just be fantastic, but then I've got to sit down and learn it.
That's right, yeah.
And I think that, you know, we spend a lot of time, for anyone who actually wants to get into this, when you start rolling and you start building up your subscribers and you start looking at it, you got to spend the time. And as any one of the four of us will know, there's a lot of time that goes into changing them and looking at them, and then stretching it out and splicing. And
editing kills me. Editing is and I think that's the reason why I like Periscope so much, because you know what, it's live, it's as it is, there's no editing, that's it. Whatever I say, whatever I do. Bad luck. You know, that's it. That's what you get, you know, and then it's automatically uploaded, it's ready to go. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I mean, some videos there, Tash, with yours, you know, say for instance you're editing, what sort of length are your clips? Are they normally 4, 5, 10, 5, 6 minute clips?
Yeah, I try not to make it longer than about 7 minutes, because I just feel like you lose subscribers, you lose viewers, like there's not enough watch time in it for that long.
Exactly right. So that's a big tip again for all you newbies. Do not make it long. The shorter, the better.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, sometimes 3 even. If you
3.
3 minutes, you can
3
minutes and start off with 3 minutes, you know, and don't drag things out. More quick, snappy clips, the better. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. I was just going to say, my video editing software, like Adobe Premiere Pro, CC, whatever, I've got that kind of software because I'm actually doing work with it. Like I've got a couple of paid jobs recently. Maybe I was paid in a jar of food, but it was one of them. But you know,
I was kind of
paid.
I was kind of lucky with my because I've got Adobe Premiere Pro too, and I was kind of lucky because I did my photography course a few years ago. I could claim it through TAFE as a government subsidized fee, so I've still got it from years ago, and it works fine.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
A quick question from the live chat room. Purple Cashita asks, how did you organize your intro titles?
Oh, that would be you, because I don't do that. Who else?
You do intro titles, don't you, Brendan?
Yeah, so I've got a couple. So the first way I did, I YouTubed it how to actually do it, and the easiest and simplest way was to actually do it on PowerPoint. Yeah, and you can animate your things coming in and going out, your name appearing and flying away, or whatever you want to do, and then save it as an MP4. And and that just saves it as a move. So it's a real quick and easy way of doing it. Again, Filmora does it all for you as well. You can do it. You can do it intro and actually build it as a movie and then save it. So my one is actually all using Filmora from now, but also I use a little couple of hints from the PowerPoint as well.
Right. That's you know what? I've just learned something, Linda. I'd never thought about that. You know,
it's so easy to use the PowerPoint, because most people know how to use a PowerPoint, right? And you just save it as a movie, but you just got to make sure your clips are animated before you save it.
Right. I just use a free online editing tool. I don't even know what it's called now. Maybe Vixa or something it's called. It's just a website, but obviously they want you to pay for extra, but I can choose between like 6 or 7 different automatic ones that they do. So, but the PowerPoint, that's a good idea. What about you, Tash? Do you have one with yours?
I've made like a mini intro that just has like my name with some music and places that I've been, geocaches I've been, because I actually include travel in my videos too, because I like traveling and geocaching. So I kind of mix the two together sometimes. So I've got like an intro with just me geocaching and traveling.
Well, they do go hand in hand, so that's good.
Yeah, it works well.
Yeah. NT, what about yours? Do you actually have any intro?
No, I don't. I did play around one time, a couple of times, but the main one I did play around with was more just playing with layers of video and layers of images on the video with Tattooed Squared. At the beginning of this year, I was just having a play around, trying something different.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that idea, slowing the video footage down.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting a couple of overlays just to add a bit of extra texture to it.
That's right.
That was fun.
And guys, look, if you want to learn more stuff, all I can say is have a look around. Look around all different vloggers online, etc. See what works best for you. Do not try and don't copy anyone, because you copy someone, it's not going to work for you. do you. I always say that you do you be how you be naturally, and people will like that better than you trying to copy someone else. But at the same time, you can learn the tips and tricks, and there's plenty of videos out there that shows you how to cut and how to make things longer and shorter and faster and slower and put picture in picture, all this sort of stuff. You can learn that online. And
there is a lot of tutorials on YouTube these days. Lots of tutorials will teach you everything.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I'm still learning with iMovie, and I haven't even got the upgraded version, just the basic. I'm still learning stuff, which is pretty cool. We're going to wrap it up here soon, but firstly, before we go, Brendan, your favorite geocaching vlogging channel? Do you have one?
Oh, crikey. I've probably got three.
Yeah.
The first one is Geocaching Vlogger. I think I've followed him for maybe 3 years now, which is and it's been really interesting watching the progression him go through. The other person, Geocaching Katie.
Oh yes, a lot of people like her.
Some of the places that she walks to, I'm going up this mountain. Oh my God, the views are incredible.
Yeah.
So and I just some of those spectacular places, and because of that, I've bucket listed some of those caches that she's been to because some of the views are just incredible.
Exactly.
And also there's Curious Kiwis here in New Zealand, which I follow as well. They're fantastic. A great couple. Quite quirky, great caching. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I've noticed. See, again, saying that geocaching with Katie, she is popular because she does herself. She's raw. She's into it. She's just her natural self. And I've met her over in the Giga. And she is exactly the same off camera as she is on camera. Like, she's vibrant and excited, and it's, and it really does pay off. So, and as I say, you be you. What about yourself, Tash? Who's your favorite?
I've got a couple too. So I really, of course, we all love Geocaching Vlogger Joshua. Like, how can you go past his videos? He's he's the OG. He started it all.
He's got 55,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he's got so many. And then Cache Canada, they have some really good videos. Like, they show heaps of scenery, heaps of them. I love them. And then one that's a bit like, I guess, vulgar or not as much, but 10,000 geocaches.
Yes, yep.
Oh man, funny. I can binge his videos.
That's good. Yeah, he's
Kimbosh.
Just for everyone who's watching or listening to the podcast, if you've got children, don't watch his children. Let's just say that now.
No, he's got a PG rating on most of his.
Yeah, I'd say an MA rating. Let's be honest.
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Yeah, PG is it's MA.
He has a warning at least on most of his.
And he does have a warning. So, but if you want something that's MA related and that's not family friendly, then go for it. He's
entertaining. He's got a great radio voice. I actually enjoy his videos. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's got a great movie voice.
Yeah.
One of my top ones for their voice is Gas Station Tuner. And that's his name, Gas Station Tuner. I know it's so weird, but he's over in America, and his voice. Oh man, I could listen to his voice for days on end. Like, the radio voice is so smooth; it's just silk. It just runs off the tongue. And obviously with the US accent, sort of, everyone knows me. I like a US accent, so. So someone's asked as well for the links to these ones we're talking about. If you go back in the replay, guys, or listen to this again in the podcast, just whatever we said, just search that on YouTube and they'll come up. That'll be the first person that comes up as well. But
so, Skimbosh was 10,000 geocaches. Is that correct?
Yeah. It was 10,000 geocaches is his. Now, Brendan, you touched as well on the I call them a new vlogger because they are to geocaching, but they are an old vlogger for other things, and that is the Kiwis.
Curious Kiwis.
The Curious Kiwis. Yeah, he's an old vlog. He's been vlogging for quite some time.
It's a couple.
But it's a couple. Yes. But if you go through his movies or their movies, the channel. Let's look. There's a lot of stuff about plane spotting, and then I think they've got into the geocaching thing, and they've just hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers, so that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what I like about them as well, because they're new to geocaching, but they're old vloggers, is that if you watch their vlogs, if you watch it before they start geocaching, and then watch as they get into geocaching, you can actually see the geocaching bug bite.
Yeah.
like it is. You can actually see it bite into them hard, and especially with her because she's a lot more animated than what he is. But yeah, you can see her like she's like, oh my god, how good is this? Oh, look at this. Oh my god, it's a treasure. We're finding treasure. That sort of thing. So that's pretty cool, and always good to support our local Australian sort of vloggers as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about your favorites? Oh, sorry.
They're just building a new one as well, and so they actually showing you them building a new one and their excitement building this really cool, funky cache. It's going to get favorite points like no end. I can tell.
And when they were building it too, what I like as well is that he's having trouble drilling that the stump.
Yeah,
and he breaks drill bits on it and everything. So their editing is quite good.
I like their editing too.
Their editing is quite good as well. But again, they've been vloggers before they were geocachers. Most people who watch this are geocachers first, and they want to get into vlogging. It's slightly different.
Correct.
All right.
I didn't get to mention my favorites, really, did I?
Oh, sorry. What was yours, NT? Sorry. My bad.
I only had one of them. There's a couple. It's really sad. A couple of the ones that I really used to enjoy because of the entertainment factor had kind of disappeared.
Yep.
Like I liked Johnny Cash.
Oh yes,
he was really great. He was so entertaining.
He was.
I made GC Doc and watching Geocaching with his family. That was just so sweet and entertaining at the same time. I really enjoyed those ones.
Yep.
And one that is still around now is Cache the Line.
Oh yes.
The line.
So all those you've mentioned, I've actually met them. So that's pretty cool. When I was over there across America.
When I was in America, I just met them.
When I was in America. Your girlfriend. Cache the Line. Jeff May, his name is Cache the Line. He is super cool. He does some really good edits as well, it's so easy to watch his videos. I will put a special mention out there as well. Was old school. Was Geopat92. Now that my son used to watch him, Geopat92 and Geocaching Vlogger. Those were my son's two favorite ones. And that's what made me start was my kids. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But I use vlogging as well as a way to touch base with everyone. And so when I was in America, I spent the 30 days going across America, and I held like 6 events. I met all the people that I already knew from online stuff and chats online, but I met them in person. Like
awesome.
Yeah, like Truck, Dan, his name is, and him and his wife, they traveled down and stayed overnight near my event just to come to my event, like in near West Virginia. And man, and then so I went out caching with him the next day, and we did some adventure labs and all sorts. That's pretty cool. So yes, a big shout out to Truck. I think he's actually watching in the
I think so too.
Cool.
There was a comment in there.
That's pretty cool.
But that's something that's really cool about geocaching. It is a big family. It is a big community. And it is great. And like you, I've had friends come over from the States, and they've come and we've hung out and gone geocaching, and I've showed them around the place and said, "Oh, go to this one, and all that kind of stuff." It's just absolutely fantastic, Yeah.
No, it is absolutely, and that's the other thing. I mean, I've met their name is Great Caches, and they're in Australia as we speak. They're down in Melbourne, traveling up to the Oz Geo Muster, and they're from West Virginia. Again, I met them purely online. I hadn't even known what they were, and they're like, "Yep, no, you can come and stay at our house overnight, not a problem." And then they end up driving me around the next day and doing all West Virginia Tim's geocaches.
Awesome!
Wow, nice.
And because they knew all the geocaches themselves, so if I was struggling or whatever, I'd go, "Oh, can I have a hint, please?" "Oh, yep, yeah. Try the right hand side. Try the left hand side. Try warming. Here's a hot cup of water because you need that to warm up the temperature." Oh man, these caches in West Virginia was incredible. So yeah,
fantastic.
Exactly. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up because we're almost out of time now already.
Just wondering, Brendan, do you have any final things you wanted to say about vlogging? Being a vlogger?
I think exactly what Semi-Shell said. Keep to yourself, keep real. Again, what XMarkstheSpot has said. Just flip your camera out and talk to the camera, landscape mode. Yes, and don't get too hung up on the technical side of things. If you make a mistake, it's a mistake.
Exactly.
Just keep moving and keep carrying on, and show us something that interests you, and then say why it interests you.
That's a good one.
you know, I think content is, you can do like what Simi said before, you know, walking along, find a cache, a bison tube or something like that, but why should you put this on the interweb for all of us to see? You know, is it the spectacular view? Is it historical significance? Is it the area? You know, that's all I can say, really.
Yeah, exactly. A quick question again, it came from the chat room because I've got to mention because it's a good one from Purple Cash Eater. Does the effort of Tash, you can answer this, does the effort of making a video actually detract from geocaching itself?
Oh,
well, for
question.
me, they both go hand in hand. So for geocaching, I'm actually always filming. There'll be some times when I don't film a geocache, but it's not like stopping me going out and doing it. Because if I want to go geocaching, I'll go geocaching. Doesn't matter if I have my camera or not. It's just a bonus.
Exactly.
So,
and what about you, NT? What do you find difference if you're filming a cache or just going, you know, caching for the day without a camera?
I'll actually do a lot of geocaching without my camera. And I find sometimes I'll take my camera with me and I'll be like, oh, I really want to share this moment with other people. So it doesn't take away from the experience.
No.
And there's other times when I take my camera away with me thinking I'm going to do a video today out of something. And I don't even, no.
Yeah, exactly. It's for the moment.
I'm enjoying the moment too much. The camera can just stay.
That's right. Or you think to yourself, well, there's nothing really happening in this moment. I find though, when I'm filming, I'm filmed best just by myself because I don't like to, if I'm with caching in a group, I don't like to hold people up. And you know what it's like? Caching with a camera, like in terms of when you're vlogging, it takes 2 to 3 times the length of time to find the cache. You got to do the B-rolls, you got to do you walking past the camera, you got to do the sky shots and all these bits and pieces to do all the snappy edits. And yeah, it does take a long time as opposed to just walking to the cache, signing the log, walking back, you know. So yeah. So,
I actually, I do mine backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I find the cache and go, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Ah.
And then everything, all the geocaches you've seen of mine, if you have a look at the channel, is actually done backwards. So I found the cache, gone, yes, this is one to actually to put up. Yeah. And then I do all the other videoing and then put it all together.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So find it first. Do some walking shots or when I'm walking away from it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm actually walking away from it and not actually walking to it. And then, you know, arriving and all that kind of stuff.
So here's a cool idea. What about this then? You actually do your editing video. So you do the whole thing and then flip the whole thing around. So a whole lot. No, but
it's just like making a movie or a TV show.
Walking backwards, but you're actually walking backwards.
Yeah. You reverse it and just hit.
That would be cool.
Another note also, if you have a camera, sometimes it's easier to pretend you're doing something with the camera than actually finding the cache. Because if you're in a high model zone, sometimes it's really good just to be looking at your camera and be like, oh, I'm just taking photos of these trees, you know?
Exactly. Well, that actually happened to me the other day. I was getting an FTF on a little power trail, and the farmer came around, and lucky for me, I was actually doing a live Periscope at the time, and the farmer came around because he wanted to know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, and he had dogs around me and everything. And I just turned to him. I said, oh, you know, beautiful landscape you got here. I'm on a public road. It's all good. Beautiful landscape you got here. And he could see that I was filming, and he was happy with that, and just walked away. Now, if I wasn't filming, he'd be like, you know, what are you doing there? It's called geocaching. You know. So yeah, that's right. You can actually use it as a deterrent for muggles sometimes too, which is pretty cool. So yeah. NT, you got anything? I can see you wanting to say something.
No. I was actually thinking about that one in particular you're talking about with that Periscope. Actually, that farmer would have been a good person to tell him what was going on because he's got a lot of people come down that road and he probably is wondering what is everyone stopping here for. I
was talking to one of the others, one of the other hiders the other day about that. And look, let's be honest, it's going to be maybe 1 or 2 a month that go down that road. The way where it is, it's not in a prime position. It's not like up the expressway, for instance, or just off the freeway. You've got to come a fair.
But it wouldn't hurt for us to actually let the people who own the properties around that area know we're not here to just steal your sheep.
Exactly.
We're just geocaching.
NT, let's make a note of that. That's for another show, and that is power trails. How to do them, how don't do them. That's another show. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yes. Make a note for that.
Yep.
All right, guys. And as I said before, a big thanks and big shout out to MrCuddlyBrick Geocaching Adventures YouTube. Brendan, there he is there. And don't forget XMarkstheSpot. Tash, thank you so much for coming along. And also, we got to mention, No Tomorrow, Down Under Geocaching Adventures of No Tomorrow. See, I even remember
Down Under Geocaching Adventures of No Tomorrow.
That's right. Who's also a host on the Geocaching Down Under podcast. I like it.
No, my name existed before the
It
podcast.
did. It did. Yep. Your name absolutely existed before the podcast. Yep. 100%. So that's good. All right, guys. Stand by and we'll do a big thank you very, very soon. Just one more quick music break and then we're underway. Stand by. And there you have it, guys. So a big thanks. Now, NT, next month, what do we have for next month? Do we know?
That is a very good question. I don't think I have that in my notes. No.
Well, you sure?
Oh, we do. You can tell me, apparently. According to the show notes, you can tell me.
All right. With the new release of how-to guides from HQ, did you guys see those?
I have.
Yeah, the how-to guides. So there's like how to find a cache and then how to hide a cache. And that all came about from those surveys in which they did. So I was thinking, how about a topic of geocaching for newbies? And also then obviously refresh it for us oldies as well. So, who's been in the game for a long time. What do you reckon about that? That sound all right?
I think it sounds fantastic. I think it's something that we do always need a little bit of a reminder with. And it's always, we can listen to the stuff for newbies so that it can help us remember and know of better ways to communicate with our friends who are new people as well.
Exactly. So, guys, don't forget. So thanks to everyone who jumped on the live YouTube broadcast tonight. And remember, we record live in the first week of every single month. So make sure you follow all our social media pages and don't miss any GeoChat itself. If you have any questions or comments, please drop us a line at geocachingdownunder@gmail.com. Now, a big thank you so much to MrCuddlyBrick Brendan and Tash. No tomorrow. Far out. I'm not even reading this. XMarkstheSpot. Thank you much for joining us, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, don't forget, guys, this podcast can be downloaded on any of your favorite podcast app, including Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIns, iTunes, Spotify. And so that brings us to the end of episode number 11 of the Geocaching Down Under podcast, doesn't it, NT?
That is right. And remember, the world is my backyard. It's yours as well. And, you should get outside and play. Oh, unless, of course, like you got school tomorrow and you're a kid and you really shouldn't be up late listening to this. You should actually go to bed, not go outside and play.
Exactly right. So, guys, from the Geocaching Down Under team, we're over and out. And
all right.
That's the end of the actual podcast. But don't go anywhere, guys. We're still live.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. We're still live on YouTube. So and yeah, still don't swear. So now
hello to our viewers.
Here's the time where we actually say hello and good day to all those who are watching on the live broadcast. So who did I
Let me get this open. I've been watching, but my phone's about to die, so I'm going to pop it up on the computer in front of me.
Yep. DTY73. Now, no tomorrow. What have you got there that's related to DTY73?
What have I got there that's related to DTY73? We're talking about this.
Yeah. I am Groot. There you go. G'day. There's
a few of them there actually. There's a number of them at Danielle's house.
Oh, there is too.
I'm sure that they didn't save me any, but they're having Chinese and wine, I think.
That's right. They are too Chinese. Now, I don't know if it's red or white, but anyway. And Katie Rocks. So Katie Rocks. She is a brand spanking new geocacher. We're talking about someone who's been geocaching for about 2 weeks, maybe. She watched a few of my YouTube clips, etc., and she's been messaging me, asking me questions in regards to geocaching. That's how I knew her. So welcome to SKD Rocks. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Yeah, good to see you on the live one. Now, Andrew Bush, Brendan, did you see the live chat at all?
No, I couldn't see it at all.
Oh, you couldn't see it. Oh,
No.
damn. What has he said here about you? Let me just flick through.
I hate to think.
The live chat was not visible on the Hangout. The live chat's only visible through YouTube.
Through YouTube, yeah.
And that should be should be able to see it when you play back on YouTube later.
Yeah, exactly right. He basically said as well, when you did a shout out to him and said that you went geocaching with him, and he said he's very special.
He is.
Oh, that's right. Here we go. He goes, are you going to tell everyone how you got your name, Brendan?
Oh,
yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that in the podcast.
So we're at a mega, and I was co-hosting a quiz tonight, and at the end my name was Team MCI.
Mm-hmm.
So my last three, or my first three letters of my surname, MCI. So someone managed to say something about, what was it? I was giving a prize for someone who had traveled 18,000 miles or 18,000 kilometers to New Zealand to come to the mega.
Yep.
And this person came up to me and goes, well, this person's come 17,000 kilometers. And I went, oh, that's awesome. Thanks so much. But when I went to school, 18 was bigger than 17. And this was a more of a mature lady who was having a crack at me, and I just managed to say something to her. Yeah. And my co-host said to me, he goes, man, you're just all cuddly, but you've got a voice and a mind like a brick. And then there was a Facebook post, a polling thing that went out, vote for Brendan to change his YouTube name and his geocaching name, and Mr. Cuddlybrick stuck, and it was like, okay, well, I'm with it. I'll bring it on. So,
and what about you then, Tash? How did you get XMarkstheSpot?
Well, I was just thinking about it. I actually named one of my geocaches that because there was an X in this gondola thing, and I put it underneath, and I thought, well, wouldn't that be a great name for a YouTube instead? Because I did have Brutal X, but you don't want to Google that. You don't want to Google that.
No. You got to be careful, don't you?
It's not good.
That would have been a good tip for upcoming vloggers as well. Is you want actually a family friendly name that if you Google it, you're actually going to get.
I think that XMarkstheSpot's brilliant. It's great for your geocaching. Oh, I found a geocache, XMarkstheSpot. It's old school mapping. It's just a great name. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, Brendan, I do have one thing. Now, Brendan, you have lost some weight. Now, are you going to change your name again from Mr. Cuddlybrick to Mr. Cuddly Stone, or like?
Oh no! I was actually thinking that. I was like, oh, crikey! Not really. I had to order a new uniform for work, and it was like, oh. Yeah, so I just want to keep going. It's just one of those motivations. It helps you be able to get out some mountains and all that kind of stuff that we have around here as well. So I went geocaching about a year back, and we tried to get up a mountain. I just couldn't climb the blinking thing, and it really kind of brassed me off.
Yeah.
But now I know that I better fly up the blinking thing. So
exactly.
Yeah. So it's really important to me. Health wise, great, but geocaching as well.
Yeah,
get to some of those other cool places.
Exactly. Also in the chat room, Sambu Bear was in there. NT, Sambu Bear.
Sambu Bear.
Sambu Bear was there, and Kashi Girl. Well, okay.
Hello, Sambu Bear.
Okay, she likes to call herself Keish. She does like to call herself Keishi Girl. Because she said to me, Craig, call me Keishi Girl. I call her Keishi Girl.
It's Keishi.
That's the only time I call her Keishi Girl. I say that word Keishi for Cash.
It's actually technically her name. You can't change it to whatever you
I do cash as well. I can't do cash. I do cash.
No, that's right. And let's not get into that cash versus cash.
No, let's not. I noticed Elizabeth was in there too. Liz.
Yeah, Liz is there.
Elizabeth's still there. I just wanted to make a little point here of something behind me. That's just the best.
There may be a logbook behind NT somewhere that Liz had a hand in, so to speak.
Just leave it as is.
Exactly. Don't.
Oh, good. I'm just looking at a picture here. You can't see it.
No, you can't see it. Throsby on Church. They're in the chat room as well. A great family they are in New South Wales in the Southern Highlands. Who else have we got? We have Bateta as well. I haven't seen her on. And Chosen 1978. Chosen 1978.
From New Zealand. I read that earlier.
Oh, they're Kiwi. Fellow one for you.
I read that right at the very beginning there.
Very good. And
did you just say Gemma? Was it Gemma?
Is it Gemma? Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
Hello, she's one of my friends.
Oh, there you go, Gemma.
Hello, Gemma.
I like it. So there you go. Gemma was online for you. Now we'll call them the
Gemma Vitella.
ACT crew. The ACT crew. You know, the ones who actually
the ones who all gather together.
Watch this live all together and then drink wine and eat Chinese. Well, they said all the wine's gone.
Oh, what? They didn't say.
Rude.
All the wine's gone apparently, but apparently there's some Chinese left. So,
it could be
apparently,
by the time I get there.
And apparently, Julie drank it all. So,
not surprised.
No, I know.
And you guys should do a vlog from the NT crew.
From which?
You should do one with them, all drinking wine and having Chinese.
Yeah.
So keep tuned. Stay for the ones who are watching this replay and the live ones now. Stay tuned because we were going to announce something next month that's coming up. That's pretty cool, and it was inspired. It was inspired by the ACT crew. So, yeah, remember? Did I talk to you about that?
Is it next month or the month after? Or
we'll just announce it next month for. Announce it next month for the upcoming ones. Yeah, yes. Don't let me forget. Oh, of course, Andrew Bush said, Brendan, you're half the man you used to be. Exactly right. Let's see. So S. Katie Rock says, my name is, her name's actually Skady. Her name's not S. Katie, it's actually Skady.
There we go.
Yeah. So it came from working in sales when she was 17. So we put a dollar or like a dollar sign, an S sign in front of, or an S sign, sorry, in front of sales.
Gotcha.
So sales Katie, so Skady. And let me see. So that's it. So
there, Scott. Hello, Scott.
Just hello. He's better late than never, Scott, because you're just waking up, I dare say. Scott's from California. He's a Cali boy. Scott
no hi. Scott. Okay, so there we go. Here we go. We've got actually his geocaching channel. This is another vlogger. Geocaching with GSMX2.
That's right. So if you click on his details there, geocaching with GSMX2, the actual name, if you're watching this in the replay, click on that and you can follow him as well. He does some pretty cool adventures as well, which is good.
It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Crazy hour.
No, that's what they're like. With Scott, he actually hosted a goodbye to me event over in California the day before or the night before I flew home. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and we went out for dinner and everything. There was a heap of people there. There was like 25 or 30 people there, which is awesome. So he put on a great event. That was a good event, Scott. Thank you so much again, mate, for that one. That's awesome. DTOI said there's an FTF here. Hurry up. What?
Hours away. Yeah, go, Craig. Go.
Oh, no. All right, guys. Those of you who are watching in the live chat, don't forget the Oz Geomaster. We're going to be there. No, tomorrow and myself are going to be there. Make sure you come and say good day at the event, and come and have a chat to us on Sunday afternoon or night, live on YouTube. Don't forget, guys, live on YouTube Sunday evening, and you can get a prize.
Come and join in the chat online as well. They should be able to join.
And guys, if you can't make it, and you want to be part of it still, you can jump online and watch it. I've got a webcam and everything that we can move around and stuff and show where we are. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of webcam showing where we are, I've got to show you this quickly. Hang on.
You get next to your flight. Look at that.
How good's this, guys? This is me tonight outside with a fire.
Jeez.
That's beautiful. I don't have Chinese wine though.
No, not Chinese wine. No, not at all.
All
right, guys, we're going to leave it there, and we're off now. So thank you again for joining up in the live podcast. Don't forget, Sunday night or Sunday evening will be the next one, and then after that is the one next month. Stay tuned for the exact dates and times on all our social media. Thanks again, guys, and we're done.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, and thank you to you too.
Thank you, Brendan.
Brendan, Cash, you still stay on. We're just going to go off the live stuff. That's all.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Guys.
Zealand.
Bye.
Bye.